What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to History of Batgirls in Comics, episode number 17. I can't believe we're this far. Thank you, everyone who's been watching this great series of mine. I've been having so much fun doing this, and there's still more to come, so let's dive right in here. Her costume as Batgirl was composed of black skin tight leather. Her mask covers all of her head with the exception of the eyes, which were darkened and symbolic stitches surrounded the mouth of the mask. Instead of Barbara's yellow bat logo, Cassandra had a hollow yellow rimmed one. This costume was originally created and worn by the Huntress in the early stages of No Man's Land. So, Cassandra's costume was originally for the Huntress, but she wanted to kind of set herself apart from all the other Batgirls. And I really think this costume is probably one of the best Batgirl costumes I've ever seen. I like it better than Barbara Gordon's, Stephanie Brown's. I just love the mask. It's full face. Like, she doesn't have the mouth open. It is super cool. It's probably one of my favorite costumes. Like the other members of the Bat Clan, Cassandra also wore a yellow pouch utility belt which contained grappling hooks, batarangs, mini explosives, tracking devices, and a handheld computer, binoculars, plastic cuffs, and smoke pellets. However, Cassandra rarely uses any of these devices during her career as Batgirl. So yeah, she rarely uses any technology because she was trained with her hands and her feet. So she is very skilled in martial arts and all those things because she was trained to be an assassin at a younger age, as we found out in the previous videos. So I think that's pretty cool. She's the only Bat Clan person that doesn't use any of the stuff in her utility belt. So as Black Bat, Cassandra wears a modified version of her Batgirl costume with a pointed domino mask similar to Huntress and a tattered-looking cape. And instead of gloves, she wraps her hands in bandages similar to Ted Grant's Wildcat. As Orphan, Cassandra wore her Batgirl mask without the ears under a black and gold hood. She also wore an armored black uniform with gold assets. So that was pretty cool. Like, this is the costume they're talking about, which is pretty cool. But as Batgirl, she doesn't wear the gloves. She wears bandages on her hands, which is pretty cool too. To go back to her assassin ways kind of deal. Because it's what the assassin wore. So she doesn't wear the gloves like Bruce wears or Dick or any one of those, which is pretty cool. She's got her own take on her costume, which is really cool. Orphan also briefly wore a prototype of one of Barbara Gordon's Batgirl costumes, a primarily black suit with a gold bat emblem stretching across her shoulders. She added a black ninja-style mask to conceal the lower half of her face. Titans East showed some slight differences in Cassandra's costume, such as a yellow interior to her cape, as well as a classic capsule utility belt as to oppose to the pouches. So she tried different costumes really, and different belts. So instead of the pouches, she used a little capsule belt, which is pretty cool too. And we see that she got to wear one of Barbara's prototype suits that Barbara never wore, which is pretty cool. So the way that her Batgirl suit really came together is pretty cool. We get to see kind of the history in these slides of how she kind of did the Batgirl suit her own take on it, which is pretty cool. However, in Teen Titans number 43, the once hollowed bat symbol appears to have been filled and her cape is once again completely black. and there is a new line of stitching going up the forehead of her cowl. Um, that was not there in previous costumes. This particular version of the costume may only be the result of the artist's interpretation of her appearances in Supergirl and Outsiders. Had um, Cassandra in her standard Batgirl costume. So this episode 17 is all about like how she got her costume and her identity built into that costume, which was pretty cool. We got to see the history of how her costume really evolved and her take on it too. So she put her own personal stamp on her costume. She didn't go the traditional route. She didn't take the hand-me-downs. I really love her costume. It is probably one of the best Bat costumes I've ever seen. Just to like let me grab a book here and I can show you. So like that's her Batgirl costume, and I say it's probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. More so than Barbara's and anyone's. I really enjoy this costume. It's very sleek looking, very dark looking. Pays homage to her assassin abilities too. But yeah, that's our slides for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. And as we always say, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button so you get notified of all the great videos. And remember, leave a comment. I love to hear your comments. I'll respond to them. I want to know what you guys think of her Bat costume. Is it one of the greatest, or do you have a different Batgirl costume that you think's the greatest? Let me know in the comments. Till then, this is Dan. This is History of Batgirl number 17, and we'll see you the next episode for number 18. Have a great one.